the hurricanes and the flooding in Florida every year, it's just has gotten worse and worse. If you're from Miami, you know, and Fort Lauderdale too, how much it floods and how just some places there's just ridiculous amounts of flooding. This is why I now own an SUV and will never go back to having a small car ever. Those people who have like those supercars in Fort Lauderdale and Miami, yeah, they're just driving that for like the afternoon. They're not actually driving that on an everyday basis in Fort Lauderdale and Miami, because the roads are bumpy, they're messed up, it floods all the freaking time. Doesn't even have to be like a hurricane happening. And the same thing also in Tampa, I found when I was living in Tampa and St. Pete. Fort Myers, there was flooding also too in Fort Myers when I lived there. The flooding has just gotten out of control in Florida because it's swampland. They built literally hundreds of thousands of properties in swampland. Okay? So you're gonna have flooding. And it's like concrete, you know, like there's no going, the drain's not going into the earth anymore because they built concrete on it. So that's a big issue I've noticed in Florida, is like the weather. You know, I still will always go back to Florida, but I realize like this is like a problem. And then the other issue is also the hurricanes have gotten worse and worse every year. I've gone through dozens of hurricanes now. You know, first one that like I remember was really, well, oh, I guess my mom really told me, we have pictures, was you know, Hurricane Andrew. So and I think the worst one that I have ever personally been in was Hurricane Ian, when I was living in Fort Myers when Hurricane Ian hit in 2022. I've never seen that level of devastation or experienced that level of devastation before in my life. It was indescribable. Like the fires that happened in like California, or like any of these forest fires where like people have like lost everything in their house, and like I'm just like always sending prayers, or if there's some kind of donation, because after what I experienced in Florida from that hurricane, and also seeing what other people